Hey, this is Jeff from the Icebox Radio Theater, and we'll get on with the show in just a second. But I wanted to come on first and very briefly let you know about our brand new Patreon page. Now, Patreon is a relatively new crowdfunding source that's designed specifically for podcasters or bloggers or YouTubers, folks who create regular content online. It's a great opportunity for us to learn to budget a little bit more sensibly, shall we say, and it's a great opportunity for you to show a little financial love to all the great content providers that you watch or listen to or read online all the time. To find us, just go to Patreon, that's patreon.com, and search for Radio Icebox. Or even simpler, go to our website, iceboxradio.org, and look for the Patreon link. It's right across the top of the page there in the announcement bar. And now, on with the show.
Following audio drama is rated PG for parental guidance.
Frozen Frights. New Audio's Theater of Suspense and Terror. Now on Icebox Radio. The Icebox Radio Theater would like to begin this evening with a bit of a departure for us. Though we usually perform original plays about life here in the borderland, this evening's first offering, Revolt of the Worms, seemed particularly appropriate. The play was written in a time out of memory for most of us, but a time with some parallels to our own. Come back with us now, via your imagination, to the year 1942. The U.S. and Canada have been fighting a war overseas for a number of months. Victory is anything but certain, and fear is a not unfamiliar companion in many households. But despite the fact that radio, print, and film media is completely committed to showing the war effort in the best possible light, there is occasionally an alternative voice sneaking across the airwaves. A voice that tells stories not about the glories of heroism, but the price of cowardice. Tonight we present to you Revolt of the Worms by Arch Obler, broadcast originally on the Lights Out program on October 13th, 1942.
Ionized Yeast presents Lights Out. Everybody. It is later than you think. Lights Out brings you stories of the supernatural and the supernormal, dramatizing the fantasies and the mysteries of the unknown. We tell you this frankly, so if you wish to avoid the excitement and tension of these imaginative plays, we urge you calmly but sincerely to turn off your radio now.
All I can do is sit and think and wait. Wait for the floors to lift and the walls to crash. Facts. Think of facts. Yes, a journal of facts. Think, how did it begin? Why is it happening? Journal of facts until the walls crash in and the thick flesh. Charles Prentice. There's a fact. Chemist and fool. Fool.
Run away. Run away.
Run away from reality.
War.
Run away.
You mean we're going to live in this godforsaken place, Charles?
Yes, Claire, I remember you did say that. And I said, of course we're going to live here. It's perfect for my work.
But we're so far away from everything, Charles.
So far away from what? Your friends? My friends?
All right, Charles. Whatever you say, Charles.
You never disagreed with me, did you, Claire?
Why, it's so quiet up here. It's almost as if we were out of this world.
Yes, I remember, young Jackson, you did say that.
I like working with you, sir. Why, up here, it's almost as if we were out of this world.
Out of the world. I wanted to be out of the world.
Hide until it's over.
Yes, why not? Why not?
What are you doing all the way up here for, Prentice?
To do my work, of course.
But who cares about propagating new varieties of roses at a time like this?
Well, the times have nothing to do with it. I'll do what I please. You understand me? I'll do what I please.
But, Prentice, to leave suddenly like this doesn't make any sense. Roses are fine in normal times, but a chemist of your ability, in times like these, certainly there's more productive work that you could do.
I'm not interested in your opinions. I'll do what I please. You hear me? I'll do what I please. Do what I please.
Yes, sir. Everything's ready for you, sir. The greenhouse is all ready, sir.
1 week ago, Wednesday.
Does the wind always blow up here, Charles?
Eh?
I said the wind. Does it always blow like that?
Why?
It's frightening.
Mighty less frightening than the things that are happening back in the city.
Oh, I suppose so.
Oh, I know so. Oh, where's that boy? Jackson! Jackson!
Yes, sir?
The phosphates, are they ready yet?
Not quite, sir.
Well, get them ready. Every one of the plants. We work late tonight. Very late. Work late and hard. That was the answer to everything.
A chemist of your ability? In times like these, certainly there's more important work than propagating roses that you could do. A chemist of your ability? In times like these, there must be much more.
No, I wouldn't think of that. I told myself I wouldn't think of that. Roses. Yes, roses. Develop the greatest rose in the world. That would be my answer to them. While they bombed and burned, I developed the largest rose the world had ever known. And when the world settled down, I'd come back and I'd bring the rose to them, and they wouldn't care if I had run away. My plan. Why did it go wrong? Claire, why did it go wrong? Claire. Oh, dead. You're dead. They killed you. Dead as I'll be dead. If I could only think, why did it go wrong?
Where do I put the solution that's left over, Mr. Prentice?
Yes, I do remember. That was it.
Oh, gosh, Mr. Prentice. I'm trying to understand, but I'm so tired.
You must keep working. The only salvation is to work.
What's salvation got to do with roses?
Don't be impertinent. Do your work.
Yes, sir.
2 cc for each plant, and be careful. Don't let any of it touch the stem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You weren't very happy, were you, Jackson? Those were things that you couldn't understand.
It isn't that I don't want to work, Mr. Prentice. It's just that I'm all mixed up. These roses. Why do I have to pour this stuff on them every hour on the hour? It doesn't make sense. Hormones? Sure, I know what they are. Secretions from the glands in the human body. Sure, I know what they're for. Make us grow and everything. I get it. That's what you're trying to do with the roses. Make them grow fast and big. But how do you know these hormones will work on the plants, Mr. Prentice? And how do you know how much to give them? And how big they'll grow?
Questions, everlasting questions. But now I ask them. Why did it go wrong? Thursday? What do I remember?
What do I do with the hormone solution that's left over, Mr. Prentice? Mr. Prentice, what should I do with the hormone?
Go away. Can't you see that I'm working?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I remember.
Friday.
What a Friday. Claire?
Yes, Charles?
Is that you?
Oh, yes, Charles.
What are you doing walking out here in the dark?
Oh, it's a lovely night.
Romantic. At your age.
Oh, I just like the night.
You women, come back in the house.
All right.
Crazy walking around in the dark. What would you have done? What's the matter with you? Can't you walk? Why, if I hadn't have caught you...
It's slippery.
What are you talking about?
Well, it's all slippery around here.
Don't talk foolishness.
But it is.
By George, you're right.
What would...
Stand still. I'll light a match. I had some here somewhere. Yes. Now we'll see.
Charles!
Stop grabbing me. Worms.
What?
Can't you see? Just ordinary earthworms. Night crawlers, I think. We just walked over a few of them. Oh, you women with your fears and your squeamishness walked over a few worms and you make more noise and more fuss. Yes, I remember. Friday night.
The extra hormone solution. Where do I throw it, Mr. Prentice? Mr. Prentice, where do I throw the extra hormone solution?
Saturday. And then the night. Jackson! Jackson, where are you? Jackson, I told you to stay in the house. Jackson! Where are you? It's time to feed the plants. Jackson, where are you?
He's not here, Charles.
Claire, You startled me walking up like that.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
That infernal boy, where is he? Have you seen him?
He's not in the house.
But I told him not to go out. I told him only an hour ago. He's got to work all night. The plants must be watered every hour on the hour.
He went out.
Well, why didn't you stop him? Now I'll have to go chase after him. Jackson? Jackson, are you out there? Come in.
Oh, Charles, what was that?
Well, what do you think it was? Thunder. It's just starting to rain. Shut the door. Shut the door, I say.
But the boy...
Oh, if he hasn't sense enough to come in out of the rain, it's just too bad. I've got enough to do without worrying about my roses, without worrying about him, and don't you go after him either. He'll come back. He'll come back. Saturday night. And when it was day again...
Charles, wake up. Please wake up.
What? Where?
You're on the couch. You fell asleep on the couch. Charles, get up right away.
What's the matter with you? Why should I get up? What difference does it make?
Listen to me, please. The boy, he isn't back yet.
Huh?
Jackson, he isn't back yet. Oh, Charles, where can he be? The storm. You slept and I waited.
Wait a minute. Have you looked in his room?
I just came from there. Charles, where could he have gone to? Oh, all through the storm.
Oh, stop talking so much and let me get up. We'll go and see. Must you follow me? Why didn't you wake me up? Why did you let me sleep?
Well, I must have fallen asleep, too. I opened my eyes, and it was day. Oh, Charles.
Oh, stop Charlesing me. Crazy young fool. So he spent the night outside, so what's the difference? Teach him a lesson. Well, no wonder he isn't back yet. Fog like this, it's as bad as night.
Oh, Charles.
All right. What am I supposed to do? Go wandering through the fog like a bloodhound, like a fool? Well, don't worry, he'll be back. He'll be back. But you never did come back, did you, Jackson? When the sun came up and that everlasting fog and wind came out and lifted the fog.
Charles, come here.
Claire, where are you?
Back of the house, Charles. Come quickly.
Oh, what is it? What do you want now? The boy isn't around. I've looked everywhere. Now, if you'll just
Charles, what happened back here?
What?
Well, look at the ground.
Well, who plowed up this ground?
Plowed?
Yes, certainly plowed. Can't you see? Some crazy drunken fool plowed up the ground.
But during the night? Oh, Charles, how could that be?
Well, you believe what you see, don't you? It's that boy.
What?
Yes, that Jackson went crazy. Found a plow, tore up the ground, and ran away. Went out of his mind, that's it. The boy's gone crazy, tearing up the ground. Gone crazy. Gone crazy. The Icebox Radio Theater will be back right after this. And then, that night, that same night after I thought Jackson had gone crazy and run away, I went back to my work. Sunday night.
Charles, can I speak to you? Charles, please stop your work and talk to me.
Haven't you lived with me enough years to know I don't like being interrupted when I'm working?
But I'm frightened.
Are you really?
Oh, Charles, stop it.
Are you out of your mind?
Maybe I am.
What did you say?
Maybe I am crazy, all right? Maybe I am. It's the only way I could have lived with you all these years.
What?
Endured your selfishness, your unbelievable selfishness. Everything's for you. For 20 years, everything's for you.
Now that's quite
your work, your pleasures, what you think, what you want, everything for you. Nothing for anyone else.
Will you shut up?
Gentle Mr. Prentice, the scientist, the good husband who never lifts his voice. Mother in heaven, I'd rather be married to a fool with a heart in him than you.
Well,
You haven't got a heart. You never had a heart. It's you and no one else. That boy could be dead out there and you don't care. And I could be dead and you don't care as long as you're safe in doing what you want to do.
Will you go away and let me get on with my work?
Oh, Charles, I'm frightened. That boy, now, those noises.
I'm asking you for the last time to go away and let me do my work.
Listen to me. You've been out here all night. I've been at the back of the house alone, and I've been listening. And I didn't want to come in here, but I had to. Charles, those things I've said, I meant them. For years I've meant them. All right? That doesn't matter. But I tell you this. There's something outside the house. Find out what it is, Charles.
20 years ago, I thought you an irrational woman. I thought I trained you out of that irrationality. I was wrong. I'll humor you just this once, but never again. Where are these noises?
At the back of the house.
The lantern. Hand it to me.
But yes.
Thank you. You're frightened. You don't have to go with me.
But I want to know.
What? That you're a fool? Well, so what am I supposed to hear? There's nothing. Hello out there! Hello! Well, what now?
Listen.
To what?
Listen.
To what?
I thought...
You heard the wind whistling through the cracks in your brain. Come into the house.
Oh, Charles, wait.
What for?
Here?
Yeah. Yes, so what? Give me the lantern. It's that boy.
Oh, it could be him, couldn't it?
Crazy young fool playing practical jokes. If I get around the corner of this house and find it... What's going on here?
Charles, something's moving under the ground.
Yes, it's so dark I can't quite make it out.
Charles, what is it?
I don't know. Animal of some sort?
Well, take me back to the house.
Oh, go yourself. Moon will come out behind the clouds in a minute. We can see what this is.
Well, give me the lantern, Charles.
No, I want to see. The house is back there. Turn around, go back to it. Go on.
Oh, all right.
Yes, it is something. Burrowing. If the infernal moon would come out, I'd see... There. Moon coming out now. I'll see what it... Holes? Holes in the ground. All over, but who would... Bomb craters? Oh, but that isn't possible. No, animal burrows, but what animal could make a hole 4 feet across? What animal... Claire! Claire, where are you? It's so dark I can't see. Claire, where are you? Yes, Claire. I ran through the night looking for you. The echo of my voice is still in my ears, looking for you. But the moon was under the clouds, and I couldn't see you. I couldn't find you. And then I did. You had fallen into one of those craters, one of those holes in the ground. I couldn't see you, but I could hear you. But which one of the holes? They were all over. Ground pockmarked with them. I ran around in the dark. I could hear you, but I couldn't find you. And then the moon, it came out again. Oh, blast the moon. Why did it come out? If it hadn't come out, I wouldn't have seen. And my head... Stop it, Claire. I could still hear you. I can still see you, your body down in that hole. As I ran towards you, suddenly I saw that something else was coming towards you. Something that glistened wet in the moonlight. Something long and slimy, a great twisting snake. Yet not a snake. Not a snake. And the fear in me made me fall to the ground. And I saw as I lay there, I saw... The thing moved toward the hole in the ground as if you weren't there, as if it were blind and couldn't see, like a great blind worm. It was a worm. A worm 10, 20, no, 30 feet long, crawling in fright to its home in the ground, and it moved toward you, Claire, covered you, crushed you. You're dead, Claire. You've been dead 2 days. Why should I tear out of my memory all the horror of how you died, of how young Jackson must have died?
Where do I throw the extra hormone solution, Mr. Prentice? Where do I throw the extra hormone solution, Mr. Prentice?
Very funny, isn't it, Jackson? I ran away and I was going to bring back to the world the greatest rose. But I brought back the greatest worms. The hormones you threw away soaked into the ground, and into them hundreds of little worms burrowing under the ground, soaking into their flesh, into their life process, miraculously increasing the growth of them until overnight they grew and grew without limit into those terrible horrors. And they're still growing. I can hear them. For the last 2 days, squirming around the house and over, great monstrous pieces of slimy flesh, squirming and writhing, hundreds of them, thousands of them burrowing under the ground and at night coming out of the ground. I've seen them, a sea of flesh, a sea of worms. Yes, I hear you out there, you worms. You who are under the ground, and now there's no room under the ground for you, so you come out of the ground. The world was yours first, so now you're going to take it back again. The world for the worms. You're under the house. You're lifting it. The walls will fall and crush me, and I'll be dead, and I want to be dead. Yes, now I know why this has happened to me. I thought I could run away from the world and what is happening in the world. You hear that, you worms out there? I thought I could run away. Now I'm very tired. Just sit here and wait for them. I know how I'll die. The walls falling, crushing. Window. Something behind me. A worm at the window, head looking in. He's crawling in, and another crawling, and another. They're filling the room now. Worms all around me. The worms around me. Worms covering me. Wet flesh. The worms covering me. The worms. This has been Revolt of the Worms by Arch Obler. Your players this evening:
Vicki Olsen as Claire.
Varian Irwin as Jackson.
Neil Smith played the Doctor.
Jessica Liggins as the voice.
And I'm Jeffrey Adams, and I played Charles. Revolt of the Worms was written by Arch Obler. Our core of talented actors this evening featured Varian Irwin, Trelawney Irwin, Jessica Liggins, Neil Smith, Vicki Olsen, and Jeffrey Adams. Your sound effects director was Dave Irwin. Sound effects artists were Trelawney Irwin, Amber Hazowski, Jessica Liggins, and Bruce Monroe. Revolt of the Worms and the Bats were recorded before a live audience in The Dungeon at Backus Community Center, International Falls, Minnesota. This program is copyright 2006 by the Icebox Radio Theater.